เวลาเราภาวนานะ
While
ฟังธร
practicing
รมะ
Dhamma, listening to the Dhamma,
ฟังยังไงมันก็ไม่เข้าใจหรอก
no matter how the
ต้อง
amount
ล
of
งมือปฏิบัติ ถึง
of
จะเข้า
the
ใจ
Dhamma you listen to, you won't understand. You have to
อย่าง
take
เมื่อก่อน
action to practice to understand
คน
the
ชอบมา
Dhamma.
ถามนะ
Back
พวก
then,
เรา
a
เน
lot
ี่ย
of
ชอบมา
people
ถาม
like
หล
to
วงพ่อ
ask me questions.
จิตรวมเป็นยังไง
What's
จิ
the
ตถึงฐาน
conversion
เป็น
mind
ยัง
is
ไง
like?
จิ
What's
ตตั้ง
the
มั่น
mind
เป็
that's
นยัง
on
ไง
the base is like? Or
จิ
what's
ต
the
ส่งออก
stable
เป็น
mind
ยัง
is
ไง
like? What the mind that's
เปลี่ย
setting
นแปล
out
ง
is
เป็น
like?
ยังไง
How's the
ถาม
aggregates are
ตอบ
separated? They ask the
ใคร
different
จะไปตอบ
questions.
ได้
How could I answer all
ค
that
นถามว่า
questions?
ทุ
It's
เรียน
like
หมอ
when
น
you
ทอง
ask
รสชา
questions
ติเป็น
like,
ยังไง
what's the taste of the
สุขช
durian
นี เป็นยังไง
montong, and what's the difference between each
การยา
kinds of
เป็นยังไง
durians? Like
ไม่เคย
ganya,
กิน
what's the
ไม่
taste of
รู้
it?
เหรอ
What's the montong
ไม่รู้หร
taste
อก
like? You never
แล้ว
taste
มัน
it,
เป็น
so
คำถา
how
ม
could you know it?
ที่ไม่มีใคร
So
ตอบได้
therefore, this is the
ไม่มีใครตอบได้
not very
มี
useful
แต่
questions
คน
because
ถาม
nobody asked them,
ให้เรารู้
because
ว่า
nobody
ยังไง
wouldn't be able to answer. It's
ช่วง
these are
ก่อน
phenomena
อื่
you
น
have
เนี่
to
ย
be
หลวงพ่
aware
อ
of your
ให้
own.
พวกเรา
You have to see on your
ให้
own.
ขยันภาวนา
Over the past few months, I have
ให้
accelerated
เดิน
your
จงกรม
practice to
3 ชั่ว
walking
โมง
meditation for about 3
3
hours a
วัน
day. This
บาง
is
คน
your
ก็ได้ทำ
objective.
เป้า บางคน
Some
ก็
people
ได้
can hit the
เกิน
target,
เป้า
but some people
บางคน
even
29
get beyond the target, exceeding the
บางคน
target,
เพิ่ง
but
จะได้
some people cannot
แก่
accomplish
หั
this.
วเข่าเจ็บ
Some people can walk with meditation because
ถ้า
they
ยัง
have
เดินไม่ได้ ก็ต้อง
they are old age. So if they
สุด
cannot
ท้าย
walk, they do what
ตั
they
วสำคัญ
can.
คือความรู้สึก
So
ตั
the
ว
important point is the self-awareness.
ถ้าเดินแล้วใจลอยไม่ใช่
If you
การ
walk in
เดิน
meditations
เรา
with
เรี
a
ยกเฉย
wandering
ๆ ไม่
mind, that's not good. If you're
ถ้าเดิน
walking and being stressful, not
เดิ
good
น
as
ด้วยควา
well.
มรู้สึกตัว
If you know how to
เดิน
walk
ไม่ไหว
and
วา
you
ง
walk
ค
with
วามรู้สึกตัว
self-awareness. If you cannot walk, then you're sitting with
สติชำนาญ
self-awareness.
ขึ้นจริง
Once you
ๆ ถึงจะ
become
น
more
อนด้วยความรู้สึก
proficient,
ตัว
even
ก็
lying
ท
down,
ำได้
you can be self-aware as well.
แต่
This
ค
is
รูบาอาจารย์ ไม่
practical,
ค่อยสอน
but most of the master wouldn't
เพราะเดี๋ยวพวก
suggest
เรา
so
พากันนอน
because
ไม่
otherwise
ยอม
all
น
of
อน
us will lying down and not practicing at
เมื่
all.
อเช้าหลวงพ่อเห็น
This morning I've seen
โยมคนหนึ่งนะ
some of the lay person,
ถามว่า
a
ไป
lay
ทำอะไร
person,
มา
and I asked him, what did you do?
บอกว่าไป
And
ทำ
he
อย่างที่
said
หลวง
that
พ่อบอกแล้ว
he did
ให้
what
ทำ
I
วันละ 3 ชั่ว
suggested,
โมง
walking 3 hours a day.
หลวงพ่อก็เลยบอก
And I said
โย
that
มอีก 2-3 คนที่อยู่ใกล้ ๆ
a
ว่า
group
ทำไม
of people
ไม่
nearby
มา
that,
ถามหลวงพ่อเรา
see,
นะ
he didn't come to
ว่า
ask
จิ
me
ตตั้งมั่น
questions
เป็นยังไง
whether
ถึงฐานเป็น
his
ยังไง
mind was on
จิ
the
ตส่ง
base
ออกเป็น
or
ยังไง
the mind is sending out was
ขั
like.
นธ์แยกเป็
He
นยัง
never
ไง
asked
เจริ
those
ญปัญญา
questions
เป็นยัง
how
ไง
to separate the
ไม่
aggregates
มี
or
คำถาม
to
แบบนั้น
cultivate wisdom. They don't have such
เพราะ
questions
เขาสามารถ
anymore
รู้ได้ด้วยตัว
because
เอง
he could know by himself.
เหมือนอยากรู้รส
Like
ทุ
for
เรียนแต่
example,
อยาก
you want
ชิ
to
มดู
ask
เรา
the
ก็รู้
taste
ร
of
สแล้ว
each different durians,
ถ้าคนอื่น
then
มาถามก็
just
ตอบไม่
taste
ถูก
it.
เหมือน
Then
กัน
you will be able to know it
งั้นธร
on
รมะ
your
จ
own.
ริง
You
ๆ
cannot ask other people
ไม่
those
ใช่การ
questions.
คิดการ
Likewise, Dhamma cannot be learned
ไม่
through
เป็นการ
thinking or
ถาม
speaking or asking questions.
ไม่มีทางเข้าใจหรอก
It's impossible for you to
แค่เรา
understand
รู้
through
เท่า
those
ทัน
means.
แล้วก็
You
มาเข้า
just
เอา
keep on touching
มา
and
เข้าใจที่
surfacing
จริงไม่
and
เข้าใจ
seem to
แต่เข้า
understand,
ใจ
but you
ต่อ
don't
มา
really
จนเข้า
understand
ใจ
it.
จริง
Through practicing, you
ๆ
can
รู้ด้วยตนเอง
understand through the heart by yourself.
อย่างหลายคนนะภาวนามา
A
ตั้ง
lot of
10 ปี
people
20 ปี
been practicing from 10 or 20 years, they couldn't
พอ
do
หล
it.
วงพ่อเขี่ยวเข็น
But
ให้
once
ทำตาม
I
หลวงพ่อ
try to
บอก
accelerate and try to
เดือน
activate them to
เดือน
walking
2 เดือน
meditation for like 1 or 2 months
จิตตั้งมั่น
pass
แล้ว
by,
ขันธ์แย
their
กเป็น
mind
ยัง
can
ไง
be stable and the
แล้
aggregates
วคราว
are
นี้ไม่ต้องถามอะไรมาก
separated.
แล้ว
So, and then they don't have any
ล
more
งภาวนา
questions.
จนถึงจิตตั้ง
If
มั่นได้
they practice till their mind
การ
becomes
ภาวนา
stable,
ที่เหลือเนี่ย
then the Dhamma,
จะ
the,
เข้า
Dhamma,
สู่จุ
the
ดที่
Dhamma
ราบรื่น
practice, the rest of the
ง่า
Dhamma
ยนะ
practice will be
แทบไม่
smooth.
ต้องทำอะไรเลย
You don't have to do anything at all.
มันจะมีสติรู้กายรู้ใจด้วยจิตที่
You
ตั้ง
will
มั่น
have
และเป็นก
the
ลาง
mindfulness to be aware of the body and
แต่
mind
ถ้า
with a
ฟังที่นี่
natural
เนี่
and
ยก็คนในโลกนี้ไม่
equanimous
มี
mind.
จิตที่ตั้งมั่นรู้
It's
ตื่นรู้
very
ตื่น
difficult in the
มี
beginning,
แต่
but
จิตที่หลง
because
นึกปรุง
most
แต่งตลอดเว
people in
ลา
this
แล้ว
world
รู้ตัว
don't
เอง
have
ไม่
the
ออก
knowing mind. They have the fabricating mind, and
ถ้า
they
เรามี
don't
ฐา
know
นป
themselves.
ฏิบัติฐาน
But
ไว้
once
ถูก
we committed the
ที่หลว
full
งพ่อบอก
foundation
ให้
of
เราทำตาม
mindfulness, especially what
เน้น
I've said
ที่
you to
อิริ
do,
ยาบถเดิน
I concentrate on the walking meditation.
ใช้ร่างกายที่เดินนะเป็น
Use the
วิหาร
body
ธรรม
walking as the object of meditation.
มีสติระลึก
be
รู้
mindful of the
เห็นร่างกายมันเดิน
body
มี
walking
จิตที่ตั้งมั่น
or have the mind to become stable. And you will be able to see that the body and mind are two different things. The aggregates will be separated if your mind is stable. Without stable mind, your aggregates won't be able to separate. If you think that your aggregates are separate, then you're just thinking on it. For example, you walk in meditation and you think to yourself that the form is lifting a foot, the form is lying down the foot. You keep on thinking. For example, if you say that your abdomen and your abdomen is one, the rising of abdomen is one thing, the falling of abdomen is another thing. That's not the aggregate separating. Or you think that uh, the lying down form is known by the mind, the walking form is known by the mind, the sitting form is known by the mind. See, there will be knowing mind. It's not fabricating mind. That I try to pinpoint your mistakes so that you can develop the knowing mind. Once you've got the knowing mind, then your Dhamma practice will be easier and smooth. It will be enter the easy path. Without knowing mind, having just only fabricating or lost mind, then you won't be able to practice Dhamma. The most you can do is just calmness samadhi to make the mind become peaceful and dumb. Many years gone by, you just stuck there. Therefore, we need to develop our knowing mind. Back then, Paul went to visit different masters for many masters, tens of them. But once I understood the teaching of Luangpu Dun's I learned with him for about 7 months, and he said that I can depend on myself. I can help myself. He said that I didn't need to come to learn with him anymore. You can walk on your own. So I went to different places to observe. I went to different monasteries on different master from different monasteries within forest forest discipline and outside forest discipline. I went to different masters. Any ones that practice good, I went to visit them. When I went to visit them before reaching their temple, I would hear I would hear I would hear some of the teachings that those masters normally teach other people to observe their body. Like I went to Luangpuพุทธทาส. He taught people to do the mindfulness breathing, which is one of the four foundations regarding to the body, seeing the body breathing in and breathing out. Some people heard this and they didn't see the body breathing in and out. They only concentrate on the breath, see the breath. If you could see the body breathing in and out, then the mind would be nowhere. Just only seeing the breath, then the mind will sink into the breath and the mind will overfocus on the breath, which is considered as the wind element consideration. It gives you calmness mind. It's one of the kasina. Or he taught Luangpuพุทธทาสtaught the mindfulness breathing, which is the four foundations regarding the body. Go to the forest monasteries. They also contemplate on the body as well, which is regarding the body as well. I went to Pamojjo at Luangpu province, in Luangpu province, and he taught other people to chanting Buddha and contemplate on the body. I went to different places and they always taught people to contemplate on the body. So I'm pretty much very curious. And I asked Master Luangpu Dun out of curiosity why so many teachers taught us contemplating on the body. Should I come back to the body? And Luangpu Dun lay his eye on me with the eyes of pitiful, feel pity for me. Actually, I'm not a smart person. I'm not a great person. I don't have different spatial abilities. But I'm patient. I have to let you know this one first. And Luangpu taught me that they observe the bodies so that they can reach the mind. But if you already reached the mind, then what about the body? Just ignore it because the body is something that we left. We will eventually leave it. But when I went to different master, when I asked them questions, those master taught me about the mind. Even Long Tam Mahabua taught me to observe my mind. He, he told me that at that time I was practicing incorrectly because I keep on cultivating wisdom without doing calm samadhi, see the mind working on and on. Without enough samadhi, the mind is not stable. The mind sent out from the base to in at front, and it's empty in the front, and bright and full of happiness for a long period of time. And then I observed that Lord Buddha said that the mind is impermanent, why is permanent? Lord Buddha said that if the mind is suffering, why my mind is happy? Lord Buddha said that the mind is non-self, cannot be controlled, but why can I control the mind? There must be something wrong. But at that time, I couldn't observe which mistakes I made. So I went to Master Lung Tam Mahabua. At that time, there's not so many people. Anyone can visit Master Lung Tam Mahabua. And I pay respect to him, pay homage, and ask for opportunity to ask questions. Master told me to observe my mind, but I couldn't make progress. And Lung Ta said that right away that you're saying you're observing the mind, you don't observe the mind. It's not the mind that you observe because the mind was outside. And he said that you need to believe me. This is very important. I pass all this by myself. Nothing beats against the shining Buddha. Once he taught me, already taught me, and teaching me, and I retreat a little bit to like far 3 meters away from him, and I sitting near the fence and chanting Buddha, Buddha, because it taught me to do so. But my mind didn't like Buddha because it was irritated of the Buddha. So I keep on thinking to myself, Master told me to chanting. It means that my samadhi is not enough. Therefore, I try to do samadhi with the meditation objects that I like. I breathe in Buddha and breathe out though. Just a few breaths away, the minds become convergent on the base. A lot of people would be curious what the mind that converging is like. You just have to practice what I said, and you'll understand what the mind converge is, and how the mind send out, see the 3 characteristics, or the aggregate are separate. Like, you don't have to ask these questions, you can read this on your own. Even Luang Tam Mahabua really hold on to the standard of Luangpu Man. But he also taught me to observe the mind. And went to Master Luangpu Khao, Luangpu Ten, he always taught me about the mind. Even Luangpu Sim, he taught other disciples and monks to shining Buddha and contemplate on the body. But once I visited him, he always taught about the mind, because I practiced until I reached the mind. And all the master even told me that observing the mind is the shortcut of the Dhamma practice. So, but most of us cannot observe the mind. Most of us cannot observe the mind because we don't have enough samadhi and slow mindfulness. If the mind moves away, you wouldn't be able to see because you don't have the quick mindfulness. You cannot be aware of the phenomena. You've been lost in for like many hours. So, and once a time, you just know. So if you cannot observe the mind, observe the body instead. Keep on observing the body because the mind is very quickly lost and running away all day and night because it's used to it. But the body is with that all the time. It doesn't go away. Therefore, if you don't have enough strength, just try to be aware of the body. How? that I said that you're walking about 3 hours before doing so, I already told you how. Without understanding, then you are overcasting and the body becomes stressful walking. The more you walk, the more wrong you make. So before walking meditation for 3 hours a day, I already taught you so many years to understand what's the mind drift away is like, or mind that overgas is like. So while walking meditations, when you want mind wander off to other things, that's not good. That's not working because you're lost. Or keep on walking and you overgas on the body till the body becomes stiff, like the robot that walk, like the robot. The mind can't really concentrate on the body or overgas on the body. The mind becomes tight and overgas. So that's not good as well. This is called to too extreme, is too lax and too overgas. So I have already adjusted your concept, the right view of the self-awareness. The phenomena of self-awareness is when the mind is neutral, is not overgassing or not drifting away, could be aware of the body and mind as they really are. This kind of phenomena that's very extremely difficult to arise because most of us we only have two things, overgassing and drifting away. I've been teaching this for many years. Once have seen that a lot of us understand the mind that drift away and the mind that overgassing. So now it is high time for you to accelerate your practice to walking meditation. Why I concentrate on the walking meditation? Because if you can do it till you gain some samadhi, then you can make progress to cultivate the mindfulness in daily life very easily. But if you just only do sitting meditations in a house, in a Buddha room, in a room alone, and have mindfulness, see the aggregates, or whatever you see, whenever you have to move in outside the world, the strength of the samadhi might not be strong enough. But if you walk meditation and you can become self-aware as well, like going shopping, but not like this is just only example. Like for example, you go shopping and walking and see the body walking, see that the body and the mind are different things. The body is moving because the mind commands it to happen. The body itself doesn't have thinking, doesn't have thoughts. The mind is the one that commands the body to walk. The mind is the boss, the body is slave. And the mind has defilements to command the body. The mind is the boss, the body is slave. And what's the boss of the big boss of the mind, which is the defilements? It is the defilements that command the mind again. Like to command us to go watching movie, lying down, talking to people. These defilements command the mind to do things. Therefore, the big boss of the world is actually the craving. If the craving dominates the world, craving demands our mind, and the mind commands the body. The body is the one that most pitiful. It cannot command anything. It's like the low rank of the cycle. The big boss of the cycle is the craving. This is the big boss. It can command anything, command the mind to command the body to go shopping, for example. It's keep on commanding. If you cannot observe the mind, you can observe the body. Walking meditation without being lost or overguessing. Keep on practicing with patience. 3 hours. Why 3 hours? Because it's difficult. Because it's a little bit difficult. But if you keep on doing, you'll realize that it's actually easy. There was one woman this morning asked me a question. Walking meditation for 3 hours. And at first, it feels a little bit difficult, but now it becomes more happy. She wanted to walking meditation for more than 3 hours. Is that good? Is that possible? And I said that you can walk for so many hours, but you have to be aware of the defilements. You are stuck in the happiness, but you didn't realize that the happiness take over you. Like happiness arises, but you have to be aware that the happiness arises. And you have to be aware that the mind likes the happiness, likes the taste of happiness. Once you're aware of this, then your mind wouldn't stuck adhere to the happiness. No matter how many hours you've been walking, so that's correct. But if you're walking meditation because out of the defilements, the craving for happiness, not the self-awareness or the wisdom, that's wrong. You're faltered. The more you walk, the more mistake you make. So you have to be aware. While walking meditations give rise to happiness, know the liking as well. The mind will be neutral. And then you can walk with a stable and observer mind. The mind that is stable and observer. The mind is neutral. It's a mind that is not lost in fabricating and interfering with the phenomena. Just know it as they really are, as naturally as possible. So when you're walking with a stable mind and neutral mind, then the aggregates will be separated. You'll be able to see the three characteristics. You see that the standing form, the lying down, the walking form are all under three characteristics. The breathing body, the breathing in body, breathing out body forms are under three characteristics. Is the breathing out permanent? No, because if you keep on breathing out, then you'll die. The body is constantly suppressed by the suffering all the time. We have to change the posture to relieve, to run away from those suffering. Therefore, the people in this world, nobody wants to be aware of the suffering. Lord Buddha tell us to know the suffering, but nobody likes that. Everyone wants to run away from suffering. Most people like that. That's why Buddhism is only for people who are wise and brave enough to be aware of the suffering. Most people will run away from it. So try to observe yourself whether when you are practicing Dhamma, it is for running away from the suffering. You don't want to get involved with the busy world, so you keep on sitting meditation, becomes calm and converse, that you becomes calm and happy. You don't want to go on to the next level. You don't want to cultivate wisdom because you already run away from the suffering. How could we solve this problem? The mind wouldn't want to move on to the next. The mind stuck in the happiness instead. If you could see that this phenomena is suffering as well, you need to use the strong wisdom to be able to see that the happiness that you have is already suffering. Like when you're happy, the mind got penetrated by suffering. When you are happy, the mind got penetrated. When the suffering comes, the mind got penetrated, got pierced very strongly. But once you become happy, then the heart got pierced in a low level. Even you are happy, the mind got pierced and not free. It's under the slave of the happiness. It becomes the slavery of happiness, and you can let go of it. This morning I taught about the lust. Once the lust arises, how could we let go of it? You can do it by, for example, contemplating on the asubha, the foul things, and you'll be able to suppress the lust. But if you want to uproot the lust, you have to see through wisdom that the minds that being dominated by the lust got suppressed by the suffering. This kind of mind got suppressed, full of suffering entirely. Even the ones that craving for sensual pleasures, like very sensuous, you can observe the mind, that the mind got suppressed, that it needs to searching for the sensual pleasure. The mind didn't really have the happiness truly. most people couldn't see this, so they couldn't see the suffering, the penalty of the sensual pleasure. Whenever the sensual pleasure rises, the mind is an imbalance. The mind got suppressed. The mind doesn't lack of happiness. If you can see this, then you can let go of the happiness, let go of the sensual pleasure entirely. You see that the sensual pleasures brings suffering. And with the great wisdom, you can entirely get rid of the sensual pleasure. But if you have to do it right away, so you can contemplate on the four things or asukha, so that it can uh, uh, temporarily suppress the lust. It's very fun. Like we keep on practicing and we realize that we are so full. We have this particular mind with ourselves, but we never learn from it. It got dominated by the defilements all along. We never knew. And we feel conceited that we're so good and we are beyond other people and other things. Actually, it's very pitiful. Once you knew this, that we've been commanded by the defilements and very pitiful. Pity of the mind, of the heart. It's very full because it's got commanded by the defilements. Keep on practicing that, and then the defilements that used to harass us, these defilements will be cleansed from part to part. If you can, cleanse the defilements for one part, the mind will be blossom and joyful. That it can, there are transcend some of the defilements, which is, for example, the wrong view of the having a self, like sodaban, and you can move on further. Luangpu Dun told that call these phenomena as Jit Yim, the smiling mind. The mind will be smiling. It's smiling at the defilements that these particular defilements that used to suppress us can no longer suppress us, can no longer torture us. If you go back to see the Tipitaka and like Buddha history, that he become enlightened to become Lord Buddha. The Prince Siddhartha become Lord Buddha, and he say hello to the craving. He said that, hey craving, that you used to fabricating the birth and rebirth. I've been slaving for you for many eons, but now I have destroyed you. This is when the mind smiling at the defilements. That's what Luangpu Dun phrasing. It will smile at different defilements at different stages of enlightenment. It was one time that Master Luangpu Dun paid visited to Luangpu Tet at Hin Mak Peng temple. Luangpu Tet was at Hin Mak Peng temple, and he conversed. And Luangpu Tet invited Luangpu Dun, asked Luangpu Dun to give Dhamma to some of the lay people in the temple. There are a lot of lay people in this monastery, and like hundreds of them. And Luangpu Dun gives talk, Dhamma talk, and talked about the smiling mind. The mind smile at the defilements when it attained the Dhamma. And then Luangpu Dun returned to his temple. I'm not sure where he go next. He went next or came back to the Mulaparam Asurin province. And at Hin Mak Peng temple, they're very excited because they keep on practicing, because Luangpu Dun taught very subtle Dharma. And the next morning, there was one lay person. I was very close to this person, and he paid respect to and paid homage to Luangpu Tet, and she said that her mind was smiling already. And Luangpu asked how how the mind smile, and she said that smile at the defilements. Whenever I see any person develop the defilements, I smile at them. And Luangpu said that's not the case. You're smiling at other people. It's not our defilements. If you're smiling, feel like smile like um smiling in a negative way to other people, they feel that will increase your defilement. When, for example, now there are the monks that falters and he couldn't, he got disrobed and he different, uh, those people, those monks have a very high degrees in Dhamma and also uh, and the rest of us feel like smiling at them in a negative way, like scold them, but that increase your defilements. A lot of people wouldn't ask me how the stable mind is like, or the aggregate mind is like, or how to cultivate wisdom. They don't have to ask me anymore. Once I see your faces and ask if there are uh, any recommendation to do, and I said just go on next, keep continue practicing. But it takes many years, like 10 or 20 years after after this point. Especially for those who are thinking a lot. If you keep on thinking, then you'll cause a lot of trouble. Those people who are having a lot of craving, wanting on, and then give slow result because develop the craving. Some people are very conceited and they're very good. I know this, I know that. I know that the aggregates will be separated. That's when the wisdom is preceding. That's when they are very conceited. They'll make a slow progress. They are opinionated, feel that they're knowing it all. It's called guru. These gurus, when it comes to practice Dhamma, they wouldn't be able to make it. If you think, but if you realize that you have a lot of defilements, then you have a chances of attaining. But if you feel that you have no defilements at all, no conceitedness, no craving, you want to compare your Dhamma practice with other people, like that person can separate the aggregates and you want to do that, you think that those persons are better and see that those people are inferior or superior. These people have a lot of conceitedness, have that you practice up to this point and you feel that the mind will be conversed and become stable when the aggregates will be separate to keep on thinking like this. The thoughts preceding the phenomena, the true phenomena doesn't arrive yet. You won't have any result. But if you are diligent and practice what I said and try to be aware of these defilements, the craving, conceitedness, and also the view, these are the Dhamma that makes you make a slow progress. You have to observe yourself. For example, you practicing and feel that you have to competing with two other people. You're only practicing to cleanse yourself. You practicing to compete with others, you won't be able to make it. There was one person. He's a very good person, actually. Like Bao Wai and Mẹ Wan all knew this person. And she heard that I practiced with Master Luangpu during for 7 months and I understood his Dhamma. And he said that I wouldn't. he told he asked me my nick. He called me by my nickname. But my nickname was Tum. Nobody asked me this particular name for many years. Tum, you spent spend like 7 months, but I will spend only 3 months. It's already 40 years. It's empty. It's very good. What a pity. And there was another person who's very conceited, very opinionated. And she said that she wouldn't practice like the way I did. We have different paths. And this person called me. It's not very, he called me by my nickname. She walked on her path. Up to one point, she will have like Bang all is like oh understand I got it like reached to that point like the eureka point, but then go to Bang Plat, which is other way. These are Thai jokes. They have conceitedness, very opinionated. They wouldn't be able to make it. The mind that can receive the Dhamma is the mind that is mild and respectful. Master come to Master. Some masters come saw me and told me that my mind is very mild, like a stalk of the rice. Once if the mice have a lot of rice, the rice stalk will be mild. But if your mind is very strong, it's very harsh, it will stand upright. So those who can practice Dhamma well, their mind needs to be um, mild. You feel that like if the master told us to do anything, we'll receive those teaching. I've practiced that, understood some level of Dhamma, and my mind was thinking that I have some burden. I have some family and parents to take care of. But once I master Luangpu doing command me to go and 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 ordain as a monk, I would leave anything. I would do it right away. This is the heart of the Dharma practitioners. It, it I accept everything from my master, but Luangpu never told me. There are many occasions that I like to ask him whether I can ordain as a monk in the future, but I felt that I would like to ask. When the time comes, I would know by myself. If I ask these particular questions, it's like I downgrade my master to become fortune teller. There won't be because I'm asking them about future. It depends on the contributive factor whether I can ordain or not. It's not because of my craving. So when I become lay people, I never thought that I would be lazy first, and then once I became ordained as a monk, I would be diligent. I actually do it every day and never quit. Master told me to do whatever it is. I keep on practicing since I was young. When I was 7 years old, my father took me to Temple Wat also Galam Temple. He taught me to breathe in, breathe out, though I keep doing it for many years. And I just only got calm and smile, but I never quit. 22 years, every day, I've been doing it, doing the calm and smiling, and still, but I couldn't move on to next level. It took me 22 years to visit, to get to meet Master Luangpu Dun. Luangpu Dun told me to observe my mind because you read a lot of books already. I never required my master told me twice. I done it already. At first, I concentrate on the mind and make it still. And master told me that you're interfering with the mind. The mind has a duty to keep on thinking and fabricating. Do not make it a mind empty like that. So I let them my works on this as naturally as possible, and I try to be mindful of those activities and see the changes of the mind. I didn't do every day. I each day, whenever I have free time, I do it that. It's not like I do today and not yesterday or not tomorrow. Whenever I have free time, I do it constantly. That's why I make a very quick progress because I do quite a lot. I'm never lazy. I'm very diligent. A lot of people are very lazy, so that's why I told you to walk in meditation. If I said you walk, can I sit? And you can sit. Can I lie down? It will be like that. It's come to that level because that's the nature of the mind. It will go to a negative way. So you have to fight. If you cannot fight, you have to fight. If you cannot fight, you have to fight if you want to be good. But if you're painful or if you're ache and have a lot of weight, you cannot do a lot of walking meditations because you have an overweight, you are overweight, then you don't have to do that. If you don't have the strength, you can do sitting meditation, but you have to sit with like not drifting away or become drowsy. It's very easy to become drowsy while sitting meditation. While walking meditation is very difficult for you to become drowsy, more difficult. That's why I concentrate on walking meditation. But if you're old age, for example, Papa sitting in wheelchair, and I told him to walk meditation, he couldn't walk. You don't have to walk. You can do sit out and moving. You can use like a fan and moving. You can fan. I'll demonstrate. There's another fan as well. The different kind of fan. You're fanning like this. When you're fanning and becomes like this, that's not good. Fanning and become self-aware. Moving and self-aware. Fanning and self-aware. We can cast away all the flies. Or if you have become drowsy and you can hit your head like that, there are many different techniques to awaken yourself. You're fanning with the self-awareness. When I practice, when I told you to do that, then some of people say that you don't have to walk. It's become I can fanning and become breezy and I feel drowsy and I lying down. Once you lie down, there one particular terms for this is the animals that in Bali is it's like lying down perpendicular to the world. So that should be all for today. Parallel to the world, sorry. Number one, I walk in meditation during meditation and chanting as well, about 3 hours, about 30 minutes to 1 hour. During the day, I try to observe the mind. I could see some of the mass in the middle of my chest. I could see the cankers and defilements, the rooted defilements, but I still drift away, and I have very angry nature. I'm not sure whether my observation of the mind is correct according to the rule, to the principle. The boss said that it's correct. You've got a lot better. Keep on observing. Try to observe the mind. If you can move, do so. If you can walk, do so. It will help you with the samadhi become stronger. The mind needs to be strong as well. So when you practice and the mind will be weak if you're sitting, while walking the mind will gain some more strength. And the sitting will be stronger than lying down. But if you're lying down and cultivating mindfulness at the same time, so that's the best. That means you're very good. Number one, you shouldn't force the mind to be still. There's some weight upon the mind. Do not force it. Let it moves and works naturally and have the mindfulness to be aware of the changes let it work as naturally, and try to be aware, be mindful of the changes of them. Do you understand? Can you grip on this particular principle? For you, you try to make it still, so you let go and make it work naturally. Number two,
เบอร์ 2ตั้งใจรักษาศีล
I am
ในรูป
determined
แบบ
to preserve the five precepts and do
หรือ
formal
ว่า
meditations, but
ขอ
stuck in the
ถาม
world.
โอวาทค่ะ
Can you give me some suggestion,
ไปดู
please?
นะ
The Lord said
ไม่มี
that
อะไรมีแต่ทุกข์
the world is nothing
ดู
but
เรื่อย
suffering. Keep on observing like this.
ๆจุดอ่อนของเบอร์ 2
Your
คิด
weakness
มาก
for
ไป
you, number two, you're thinking too much.
ธรรมะอย่าคิดเอานะ
Dhamma
คิด
is
เอา
not about thinking, you have to feel it.
แต่ว่าดีกว่าแต่ก่อนเยอะ
But
แล้ว
it's
ล่ะ
better than the past.
จิตก็ตั้งมั่นขัน
The
ธ์ก็แย
mind
กได้
becomes stable when aggregates are
ดีขึ้น
separated.
เยอะแล้ว
You've got a lot better, but you shouldn't keep on meddling thinking, just
เพราะ
feeling
ธร
it,
รมชาติเรา
selling,
ชอบไปหลงคิด
because your nature is like to keep on thinking.
ที่
Become
ทำอยู่เนี่ย
self.
พัฒนา
When
ขึ้
you
นมาเยอะแล้ว
practice,
นะ
have a great
ขัน
improvement.
ธ์มันแยกได้แล้ว จิตมัน
The
ตั้งมั่นได้
separate,
แล้ว
the aggregates are separate, the mind is
เบอ
stable.
ร์ 3
Number three,
เดี๋ยวนี้ตรวจการบ้านง่ายแล้วพวกเรา
it's very easy to check on homework because you are very
เบอร์
diligent
3
at practicing.
ภาวนา
Number
ใน
three,
รูปแบบ
I practice
นั่ง
informal
สมาธิ
meditation
สลับ
by
กับ
sitting
การ
and
จงกรม
walking
มีเพ่ง
alternately,
อยู่บ้าง
and
หรือ
sometimes I
นึกได้ทัน
overgasting.
ว่าเพ่ง
Sometimes I could
รัก
see
ษา
that
ศีล
the
ให้
mind is
ได้ดี
overgasting.
ขึ้น
I can
เมื่อ
preserve
นึ
the
กถึงศีล
five
จิตจะส
precepts
งบ
well
ร่มเย็น
better.
ฟุ้
And
ง
when I
ซ่าน
think
น้
of
อย
the
ลง
precepts, my mind
ใช้
become
กายเป็น
calm
วิหาร
and
ธรร
less
ม
scattered.
ส่งแล้วรู้
I use
ให้
the
เกิด
body
ขึ้น
as the
ใจ
object
ไม่
meditations.
เผ
The
ลอ
mind,
ต่อ
once the
การ
mind
ภา
drift
วนา
away and knows so.
เจริญแล้ว
I
เสื่อม
I become
กิเลส
excited
บ่
at
อย
practicing. I
แต่
could
จิต
see
ยั
the
งไม่เป็น
defilements
ก
more
ลาง
often, but my
เมื่อ
mind
รู้
is
ทั
not
นเมื่อ
neutral
นาน
yet.
ก็ดับไป
Once I know so,
ที่
then
ทำอยู่ถูก
the
ต้อง
phenomena
ไหม
drift away.
ถูก
What I
แต่ข
practice
ณะ
is
นี้ไม่
correct
ถู
or
ก
not? It's correct,
รู้
but
สึกว่า
at
ข
this
ณะนี้
moment,
เรา
it's
คว
not
บคุม
correct.
จิตอยู่
It's like you're controlling your mind.
นะ แล้วปกติเป็นแบบ
And
นี้ไหม
normally
ควบคุม
it
จิต
is
อย่าง
like
นี้ไหม
this.
หรื
You
อว่า
try to
ปล่อยให้
control
มัน
the
ทำ
mind
งาน
like this, or you let it go and work.
ถ้าเราเข้าไปควบคุมให้รู้ทั
If
น
you try to control
มัน
the
นิ่งๆ
mind,
อย่างเงี้ย
then be aware of
มัน
it.
จะ
If
ส
the
ว่าง
mind's
ส
still
วัย
like this, the
มัน
mind
จะ
will
เกิดการ
become
สม
bright,
ถะ
but it's going
ไม่จะไป
towards the path
ต
of
รึ
the
งยึดอยู่
calmness
นิ่ง
samadhi.
ๆ นะ
If you try to
ให้มันเป็นธรรม
hold
ชา
on
ติ
to
จ
it,
ริง
make it
ๆ ธรรมชาติของจิต
instead,
ออก
make
รู้
it
อารมณ์ทาง
natural.
ตาหู
The
จ
nature
มู
of
ก
the
ลิ้นกาย
mind
ใจ
drift away through six sense
ธรรม
doors.
ชาติของจิตเมื่อ
The
ออกรู้
nature
อา
of
ร
the
มณ์
mind,
แล้ว
once
ก็
it
เกิดเว
drift
ทนา
away through
เกิด
six
สุข
sense
เกิดทุก
doors
ข์
to receive different
พ
emotions,
อออกรู้
cause
อารม
it
ณ์เกิด
give
สุข
rise
เกิด
to
ทุกข์แล้ว
happiness,
กิเล
suffering,
สก็จะแทรกตัณ
and
หา
then
ก็จะตาม
defilements
มา
will interfere
เนี่ย
and
เราก็ตามรู้
infiltrate
ตาม
and
เห็นไปอย่าง
give
ที่มัน
rise to
เป็น
craving as
นะ
well. You just
ไม่ไป
have to be
รู้
aware
สึก
of
นิ่ง
these
เฉย
as they really are. Do
ๆ
not
ระวัง
hold on to the
อย่า
mind
ทำ
like
จิต
that.
ให้มันติดเฉ
Do
ย
not make it to be
หลวง
still.
ปู่มั่นบอก ระวัง
Luangpu
อย่าให้
said
จิตไป
that
ติด
do
ที่
not hold on to the mind to be still.
ของเบอร์ 3 หลวงพ่อสังเก
Be
ตมา
careful.
แต่ยังไม่
Number
มาถึง
three,
นั่นนะ
I've been
เวลาทำเนี้ย
noticing you
ทำ
that
จิต
when
ให้
you
มันสงบ
practice,
อยู่
you
ใน
make
นั้น
the mind to be still like that.
เป็น
It's
แบบ
just
นี้
an
นะ
open. Just trying to fix
ที่มัน
this
ทำ
one.
เฉยอะเพราะมันอยาก
It
ดี
makes still because you want to
มั
be
นมี
good.
ตัณหาซ่อนอยู่
There's a
คือมันอยาก
craving
ดี
behind these actions. You want to be
ถ้า
good.
อยากดีเราก็ไปสุคติ
If you want to be good, you
อยา
can
ก
go
สู้
into
ก็
better
สุค
realms.
ติ
But if you want to be bad, then
นี่
you
ถ้า
go
เรา
into
ต้องการ
suffering
พัฒนา
realms,
เจ
worse
ริญปัญ
realms.
ญาจริงๆนะ
But
อย่า
if
ให้
you
ความ
want
อยาก
to
เข้ามาครอบ
cultivate wisdom truly, you do not let the craving
เรา
dominate
รู้สึ
the
กตัว
mind.
ตามธรรมชาติ
Just
ธรร
try
ม
to be
ดา
aware of the mind
แต่ตอนไหน
naturally.
จิตมันฟุ้งซ่านวุ่นวาย
When
ทำความสงบ
the mind becomes scattered, do
สิ่งที่
calmness
ทำอยู่ตรง
samadhi.
เนี้ยมันเป็นกา
What
ร
you're
ทำจิตให้ส
practicing
งบ
is
มันจะ
making the
นิ่ง
mind calm. It will be still.
ๆแต่ถ้านิ่งอยู่อย่างงี้มันไม่
But
เกิ
if
ด
you
ปัญ
keep
ญา
on being still like this, then you
ปล่อย
won't
ให้
be
เกิ
able
ด
to
พัฒนา
cultivate wisdom. So
ถ้า
let
บอ
it
กให้
work,
ปล่อยให้
let
ปล่
it
อยให้จิต
out.
ทำงานแล้วมันก็ไม่ทำ
If it's not
มันก็ต้อง
working,
ใช้
it's
มา
not
ตรฐาน
become
เด็ดขาด
out, and
พิจาร
you
ณา
have
กาย
to
เข้าไปเลย
contemplate on the
ผ่านหนัง
body,
เนื้อ
the
เอ็นกระดูก
nails,
พิจารณาเข้าไป
the nails, the
จิต
bones,
มั
the
นจะได้คลายอ
structures,
อกจากความคิด
so that the mind can get out from that still zone.
ตัวนี้ดีกว่าแต่กี้แล้วนะ
It's
รู้สึ
better
กไหม
now. It's better than
จิตมีปี
previously.
ติขึ้นมา
The
รู้
mind's
สึกไหม
got rapturous piti.
นะ
Can you see that? Feel so
ต้องอย่างนี้นะ
good, very
จิต
good.
อย่างนี้ถึงจะถูกนะ
The mind like this is correct.
เบอร์ 4
Number four.
เบอร์
แป๊บหนึ่ง เบอร์
Hold
3
on a
ที่
second.
หลวงพ่อ
Number
บอกว่า
three,
จิตอย่าง
when
นี้
I
ถึงจะ
said
ถู
that
ก
the mind is
ต้องย้อน
like
ไป
this
หา
is
นะ
good, do not try to
ตรงที่
go back to see the phenomena, what the correct mind is like, that's when the greedy mind arises. The correct mind already far away. So do not try and search for it. Just try to be aware of the mind that is incorrect. the mind just hold on to the stillness. That's when the mind develop greed to be good. Just trying to be aware of the heart that becomes greedy to be good. Then the holding on to the mind will fall away. And once it's not wrong, when it's not wrong, it will be wrong. If you keep on trying to observe what the correct mind is like, then it will be wrong because the mind drift away towards that. The mind drift away to that particular channel. It moves to that channel in this plana. You have to come back. Good. Now it's too much. Now you take a grip on the mind. Do not do that. Once it drift away also, when it take a grip on the mind also, now it's correct. The right point is here. Do not try to make attempt to see what the correct mind is like. The correct mind is already gone. The greedy mind takes place. So try to see the incorrect mind. For example, obvious mind, keep on knowing when one is not wrong, it will be right. Number 4.
เบอร์สี่เห็นกูเก่ง
I see my conceitedness and see mana, and I'm very angry nature, and I try to observe my 5 prisoners. In formal meditations, I walk meditation for 3 hours, and in daily life, I try to observe the different activities, and I can see the body and mind on, and I knew that it takes time for me to practice Dhamma and have to dedicate myself, and I will promise to practice all my life. And the boss said that you make progress, keep on doing. Be careful of the mind that becomes still. See, yeah. Once you have intention, you take a grip on the mind to be still. Try to be aware of the behavior of the mind. Once the mind drift away, so the mind take a grip on itself, so that it will be natural. We don't make the natural mind to happen. We just know the unnatural mind that arising to make it natural. When we know so, the mind will be natural because it wasn't propelled by the defilements. Now, you make the mind still. When there are actions, then it's incorrect. Its mata is calmness body. To do vipassana practice is all about seeing. It's all about knowing and seeing. Breathing out, no so. Breathing in, no so. Walking, lying down, no so. Happy and happy, good or bad, no so. Keep on knowing in a relaxing way, as they really are. Do not try to make it good and overgussing or try to maintain it too. Number 5. You have to let go of the wrong view of the mind that it view the body as us. But if you can let go momentarily, you can suppress the lust through asubha kamatan or contemplate on the four things. If you want to let go of the asubha through wisdom, you could see that once the mind develops the lust, the mind doesn't have happiness. You will see the penalty of the griefs, the consequence of the gamaraka or sensual pleasure. When you are becoming competent at practicing, you'll see that you can use different means of the Dhamma practice. The mind drift away now. Can you see that? Number 5, you got a lot better. When you practice is good. you're practicing correctly. There are changes within yourself. Couldn't hear it. Just be aware of the mind and the body as they really are. Our duty is to be aware. To let go is the duty of the wisdom. If we can let go permanently, then it's the wisdom in the noble path. The wisdom is the one that let go. Our duty is to be aware, to have the mindfulness to be aware. Number 6,
เบอร์หกรักษาศีลห้าเป็น
I try to observe the 5
เว้นแบบสวด
precepts
มนต์เดินจง
and
กรม
in formation,
นั่งปฏิบัติธรร
chanting,
ม
and walking
พุ
and
ทโธ
sitting,
ธัมโม
chanting,
สังโฆ
chanting Buddha,
ใน
Dhammo,
ชี
Sangho as
วิต
object
ประ
of
จำ
meditation.
วันทำงาน
Daily
บ้าน
life,
ลูกก็
I
ฟังเสียงธรรม
work
หลงคิด
doing
บ่อย
house chores and listening to the Dhamma and drifting away in thoughts very frequently.
ทำความสงบไม่ค่อยได้
I couldn't do calmness samadhi.
ให้การบ้านค่ะ
Can Luangpu help suggested?
แล้วจิตเราก็มีพัฒนาการด้วย
The mind
ไม่
make
ใช่ทำไม่
progress.
ดีนะ
It's not. It doesn't mean that you're not practicing good, but do not craving for the good results to happen. One day you attain some good thing. If you're hurry, then you wouldn't able to attain anything. It's like you're planting a tree. You want the tree to bear fruits very quickly. When you put a lot of chemicals in the soil, then the tree will die. You're walking a good path. See, those people who submit homework, a lot of people have aversion. Why people these days have a lot of aversion? I'm not telling you this because you'll feel sorry. I can feel. I will tell you. Master told me that like 40 years ago, from now on, hell beings will arise. Hell beings have a lot of aversion because they have a lot of suffering. I'm not saying that you're guys from hell, but the atmosphere of the town and of the city and the country, it's like the hell. It's like very hot and it attracts our mind to become hot as well, hot-tempered. I speak in good words. Otherwise, you'll feel terrified that you're coming from hell and don't want to and afraid of returning to the hell. So each person has aversion. Actually, I'm angry nature as well, inclined towards the aversion, my background. But nowadays, I can be smiling all day, smiling at the defilements, at other people's defilement as well. Number 7.
เบอร์เจ็ด
Number 6 is good. Keep on practicing. Do not hurry. You hurry too much, the mind will become squashing. Number 7.
เบอร์เจ็ดช่วงนี้เพิ่มเวลาทำในรูปแบบ
During this period, I try to increase the amount of time during meditation, and I become more stronger than before in terms of Dhamma practice. I practice Dhamma every day and try to be aware of the mind while walking meditation. While walking, I have curiosity of whether my practice is correct or not. So I try to be aware of that curiosity. The boss said, correct, good. And I use the body as object meditation, see the body movements. Luangpu said that you're practicing correctly and right. You have a lot of progress. When the mind develops some misery, when it becomes sad, just know so. Know it directly. If the mind is sad, know so. Just know so. Do not try to fix it. Then it will pass. The suffering in the world is temporary. It comes and goes. Everything's. All the happiness in the world is temporary as well. We keep on learning them. And you become more stronger and stronger. you're good.
พื้นเดิมหนูอ่อนแอไปหน่อย
Your background is weak,
อด
but
ทน
with the
ภาวนา
patience,
มาอย่างดีเลยนะ
practicing very
ชีวิต
well,
เริ่มเปลี่ยนไปเยอะเลย
you're very bright
ส
and
ติเราก็เร็ว
good.
ขึ้นจิตใจเราก็ตั้
Your
งมั่น
mind
มากขึ้น
is your mindfulness is
แล้ว
quicker,
เรา
and
ก็แย
your
ก
mind
ได้
is more
ไม่
stable,
ต้อ
and
ง
you
ทวน
can
เลยว่าแยก
separate the
ตัวเอง
aggregates, and
นะเดินมาถูกทางอะขันธ์มันแยก
you
ได้
practice
เดินวิปัสส
correctly.
นาได้แล้วถ้าแยกขันธ์ไม่ได้มันเดินวิปัสสนา
Without
ไม่ได้
separating aggregates, you couldn't cultivate
ตัว
wisdom.
นี้จิตไหลไปรู้ว่าจิต
The
ไหล
mind
ไป
drifts away. No
รู้
so
ไปเรื่อยๆรู้ไปสบายๆ
keep on knowing in a
ถูกอย่าง
relaxing
ยิ่ง
way.
เลยนะที่ใช้กาย
It's
เป็นวิหาร
correct
ธรรม
that you use the body as object of
เหมาะกับ
meditation.
จริต
It's
เหมาะกับนิ
very
สัยของเรา
appropriate for your demeanor and
เรารัก
temperament.
สวยรักงาม
You love
หน่อ
beauty
มแน
things,
มอะไร
beautiful
เงี้ย
things, and
เขายังใช้ไหมไม่ใช้แล้วมั้งคำว่าหน่อมแนม
nom nam. Nom nam in Thai, nobody used this word anymore. Nobody,
เดี๋ยววันหนึ่ง
it's
หลวง
not
พ่อตก
in
ผลึก
trend.
นี่ได้
One
ศัพท์
day you'll
ได้ศัพท์
crystallize.
ใหม่มา
This new
เบ
vocab
อร์แปด
crystallize like
เบอร์แปดก็ดีนะขยัน
in
พัฒนา
Thai.
ใช้ได้
Number 8,
จิตตั้ง
you're
มั่น
very diligent and your mind becomes stable and the aggregates
เบื่
are
อ
separated.
อยากดีเอายังไม่
When
ได้
you
ถาม
oh, you have to ask questions first.
จะ
So
รีบเลิกแล้ว
เบอร์แปดนั่งสมาธิเดิน
number
จง
8,
กรม
I'll
และ
do
ใช้
sitting
พุทโธ
meditation, walking
บาง
meditation
วัน
using
ทำได้
Buddha.
ดีบาง
One
วัน
day I
ทำ
can
ได้ไม่
do
ดี
good,
ระ
someday
มั
I
ดระวั
cannot
ง
do.
หลงเพ่ง
During the day I
หรือ
become
คิด
lost and
มาก
overcasting and
เห็น
empty
ตั้ง
as
เกิด
well.
ขึ้นตั้ง
I
อ
can
ยู่
see that
ดับ
rising
ไป
and falling away,
เห็นจิตที่คิดไป
and I
เอ
see
ง
that
บา
when
ง
minds
ครั้
are
งเห็น
thinking
ค
on
วาม
their
รู้
own.
สึกบางอย่าง
Sometimes I
เกิดขึ้น
see
ความ
some
อบอุ่น
phenomena
ส่วน
rising
ป
within
ระ
my
กาย
chest like
ค่อยๆมี
bubbles.
ความเข้าใจเทศนาหลวง
I
ปู่
start to
ขึ้น
gradual
เรื่อย
have
ๆ
understand
ปรารถนา
have a
สิ่ง
gradual
ที่เกิด
understanding
ขึ้น
towards
อยู่
your
ดับ
Dhamma
รู้
your Dhamma
มีสิ่งใดที่
teachings,
ป
and
ฏิ
I
บัติ
like
ผิ
to
ดทาง
translate
ห
the
รือไม่คะ
suffering. Can you kindly
ไม่
advise
ผิ
me?
ดนะที่ทำ YouTube
Nothing wrong with your practice.
ทำ YouTube แต่ตอน
You're
นี้
practicing correctly, but now
จิตมันล็อกนิ่ง
the
ๆ
mind
รู้สึกไหม
got locked and
จิต
still.
มันทื่อๆอยู่
You see that?
เห็นไหม
The mind is
ไม่ได้
stiff a
ขัด
little
อะไร
bit.
ไม่ต้องแก้หร
Just
อก
try to be aware
เพ
of
ราะ
it.
ไอ้ที่
Don't
ทื่
try
อ
to
ๆก็ไม่
fix
เข้
it
มเหมือน
because
กันนะ
the stiffness is
เบอร์แปดทำได้ดีนะ
temporarily.
ทำได้ดี
You
มาก
practice
ๆเลย
number 8 very good.
ใน8 คนนะวันนี้ให้
All
ที่หนึ่ง
8
เลยนะ
people, number 8 is number 1.
ภาวนาได้ดี เห็นไหมไม่เห็นจะต้องถามใครเลยนะ
See, you don't have to
ว่า
ask
จิตเป็นยังไง
anybody that whether how the
ภาวนา
aggregates are
จิต
separated.
ตั้ง
You
มั่น
don't have
เป็น
to
ยังไง
ask any people
ไม่
to
ต้องถามเลย
when the
ภาวนา
mind
เรื่อย
is
ๆก็มาเอง
stable.
นะพอเรา
When you keep on practicing and it comes on
จิต
its
มันตั้ง
own.
มั่นขันธ์มันก็แยก
When the
วาง
mind is stable, then
ก็
the
แยก
aggregates are
ไตรลักษณ์
separated. It's
ทุกสิ่ง
see
ทุ
the
กอย่า
three
งที่ปรากฏ
characteristics.
ขึ้นล้วน
Everything
แต่เป็
that
นไตรลักษณ์
appears
ไม่เห็นต้องถาม
under
ใคร
three characteristics.
วิญ
You
ญาณ
don't have to
รู้
ask
ตัว
anyone.
เองได้
The
มันอึด
wise
อัด
will
ที่
know
อยู่
by
กับความ
themselves.
ส
It's
งบมา
difficult
ถึงจุด
because
นี้แหละ
it's difficult
กว่าจิตจะ
it's
ตั้งมั่นขึ้นมา
difficult
ได้
when
ยากที่สุดเลยแต่
to,
เมื่อ
to
จิต
make
ตั้
the
งมั่น
mind
มันก็
stable
ไม่
is
ยาก
very
ที่จะ
difficult.
เดินวิปัส
Once
สนา
the
ต่อไป
mind is stable, it's very easy to cultivate wisdom.
วันนี้เทศน์ให้ฟังเท่านี้นะ
So that should be all for today.
คอร์สจีนเลิกยังสารเลิกอะไรไหม
Is
ประเมินผลเป็นไง
Chinese course done yet?